We have one more presentation that now normally we honor the officers from the three departments, but we want to make one more special presentation. I'm going to ask Don Spencer, who is the president of Oklahoma Second Amendment Association, to come up. And if you're not familiar with the Oklahoma Second Amendment Association, I want to encourage you to look it up online. This is a tremendous organization. I met him many years ago, and he goes down to the Capitol almost every day working on legislation, getting things passed that need to be put in place because of how at the national level they continue to undermine and diminish our Second Amendment rights. So I'm going to ask him to come and say a few words.
Thank you, Pastor. This is kind of like an OK2A meeting, just as many guns, but not as many uniforms. So I kind of appreciate that. Also, I want to thank you. It's great to be in front of the presence of such courage and leadership, and that's exactly where I'm going with this. Maybe some of you have noticed that our rights have been threatened by the federal government by merely have a piece of plastic that is attached to a firearm that could make some 4 million to 40 million people felons overnight. So when you have leadership that says, you know what, we have a Second Amendment right, we're going to recognize it here in Oklahoma, and this even started in Oklahoma County, which, by the way, had previously not always been a rock solid support for defending our rights. And so this had changed. And then also by leadership, other counties followed by, you know what, we're going to do the same thing. So I'd like to at this time ask Sheriff Tommie Johnson to come up here. See, you thought you were through, didn't you? Come up here just for a moment. I want to recognize him. Like I say, and it's called an arm brace that's just being attached to a pistol or a handgun. And that all of a sudden that is decided to be, after 10 years, no problem, we're going to make you a felon overnight. Sheriff Johnson was the first to stand up and say, not in my county. And so that there was a number of sheriffs, Tulsa County, which, like I say, the urban sheriffs taking off and leading on this. Has, usually expect the rural guys to say, no, you're not going to do that here. But this started right here in Oklahoma County. And I'm very proud because the right to keep and bear arms shall not be infringed is just not words on a piece of paper. It actually means something. So today I'm presenting Sheriff Tommie Johnson III, the Minuteman Award. And it reads, in highest recognition and appreciation for the defense of the God-given right to self-preservation by reflecting support for the U.S. Constitution's and Oklahomans' Second Amendment right to keep and bear arms, we are presenting to Sheriff Johnson at this time.
Wow, I wasn't expecting this, but it's a pleasure. Pastor asked me to say a couple words. I will tell you, it is never easy and somewhat scary when you're talking about going up against the federal government, telling them or reminding them of our rights, our constitutional rights, because of the things they can do, the funding they can pull away, the things, how they can affect your agency. But in situations like that, that's why leaders are put in a place to make those tough decisions and do us right. I have an amazing group around me at the sheriff's office that support these decisions, and it's just a pleasure to serve this community and continue to do us right and represent this state well and represent this county well. So I appreciate you guys believing in me and putting me in this position. And it's a pleasure to serve you, as well as it's a pleasure to serve the deputies at the sheriff's office. So thank you again for this. I appreciate it.